Welcome back to Keys and News, everybody. To start today off, I would like to talk about some recent box office stats for Transformers 1. First, for the opening day, it only made $9.5 million, and the budget was $75 million. So that was already pretty fucking bad, but it only gets worse as we get to the opening weekend numbers, which was $25 million domestically, which was what they were predicting after the first day, so, well, wow, the predictions usually aren't that accurate. But, yeah, the budget was $75 million, and it opened with $25 million. So, that's very, very scary, because it shows that the Transformers franchise isn't in the best of places right now, and I want the franchise to continue. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I don't think one looked very good, but everything I've heard about it has been good. I don't think I've heard a single person trash on the movie, so you know what? I might go see it to just support the Transformers fans, you know, because they haven't had much coming out recently. I know that some content's been canceled. It's just kind of, everything's in limbo right now. The only thing that really came out recently is Rise of the Beasts, and then Earthspark got canceled, so it's like, yeah, I would say definitely go support this movie for Transformers fans. There's also the fact that the movie has lost the #1 spot at the box office due to Beetlejuice 2, and Beetlejuice 2 is way past its opening weekend at that point. So that's just fucking amazing for Beetlejuice 2. I did not expect it to do as good as it's been doing. Holy fuck. Alright, next we have an update on Gideon apparently featuring the Donald Trump shooter Ryan Ruth in his video, unknowingly obviously, because this was before the shooting took place, way before. But it turns out that Gideon accidentally mistaked having the shooter in his video, and the person was misidentified. Now, Gideon released an apology for this. Thankfully, he didn't pull out the ukulele or anything like that. He just put out a statement, but it essentially reads, in a previous video, we misidentified an individual appearing in that video as Ryan Ruth. That identification was inaccurate, and the person so identified has had no relationship and absolutely nothing to do with Ryan Ruth or his actions. We apologize for our error, and hopefully the person will suffer no harm for being misidentified. We wish him only the best. Now, okay, I don't understand this. You know, I just don't. How can you misidentify a person as being right? Like, it doesn't make sense to me how Gideon could, like, misidentify a person, or, like, you know that you're in the public eye, right? And you're making this accusation. So, if you're going to say something like this, you should have been absolutely sure that it was actually the guy, right? Like, Gideon seemed very quick to be like, oh yeah, it's him. And I'm sure that was meant as, like, a publicity stunt, to be honest. Because, look, it got everyone talking about him. That was one of the most interesting things about the shooting to me, was that Gideon happened to be related to the guy in some way, and now it's not even true. I mean, yeah, it sucks for the guy for sure. Like, imagine being identified as a fucking shooter, and you're not that. In other Ryan Ruth-related news, apparently he wrote a letter offering $150,000 to anyone who could complete the job. Now, obviously, this letter fucking failed because he had to try and shoot him himself, but the fact that he was willing to pay $150,000 for someone to do that, it's very obvious to me why people would deny $150,000 to kill someone. Like, I don't want to say that I would kill someone for money, right? But if you really hated someone, I think it would take way more than $150,000 to even think about killing that person, right? Like, I think if you really wanted someone else to do it for him, $150,000 is definitely not enough money, bro. The Hawk Tuah Girls podcast is currently #4 on the U.S. charts. What the fuck? Come on, guys. We were memeing here. We were like, oh, no one would watch the Hawk Tuah Girl podcast. Why would they give her a podcast? And now you guys are watching this shit. I know that a lot of people are doing it for the meme, right? Like, oh, I'm watching the Hawk Tuah Girls podcast. But you're just giving her support for no reason by doing this. People are like, oh, why is she getting attention? Why is she in the public sphere? And you have those same people watching it. So pick a side, man. The block button's being changed on Twitter. All public posts will be visible to anyone, and blocked accounts can view the post, but just not reply. Now, okay, I have mixed feelings on this, totally. For me, I don't know how anyone can just pick one straight side. This is an issue that I feel like I have to fence sit on, because on one hand, I understand why people want people you block not to be able to see your posts, because I mean, there's the whole privacy aspect, right? That's the whole reason why a lot of people block. But there's also this type of situation where people are unfairly blocked, and then they're not able to see certain posts that they should be able to see. Like, for example, what if a person blocks someone, and then they start, like, shit-talking them in a thread post, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna do this, or to this guy, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, let's do it, and then the guy can't see it to know what's going on. I think this kind of hits the best of both worlds, because now anyone can see the post, and you can still be protected from, like, insane creeps, because they can't, like, reply. Like, yeah, they can still view the post, but well, I don't think they're going to really be able to cause much damage by just viewing a post, right? So I overall think this is a good change. Andy Serkis is working on a project that will include AI characters, and describes the story as 2D characters using voice actors coming into an AR world where they become AI characters authored by artists and directors. Now, okay, I was initially I initially thought this sounded cool, and I wonder if people thought the same thing as me, which was that, like, this was just going to be the plot for the movie, where essentially characters start out as, like, 2D, and then they eventually progress into, like, AI-like life forms, and that's just the plot of the movie. But apparently, I'm just illiterate, and what this actually means is that Andy Serkis is making a show or movie with AI characters. So that immediately replaces my excitement with concern and annoyance. Like, dude, why would you do this? It's just going to ruin your reputation across the entire fucking industry. Everyone respects you for your performance in Andor as Kino, a whole bunch of other shit you've done, and now you're doing this. Really? Come on, bro. I will give him credit, though, because he does admit that there are several problems with AI and concerns. Like, he shares a lot of the actors' concerns about AI replacing writers and shit, and actors. But why are you making this project then, dude? Next up, I want to talk about the Thunderbolts trailer and everything that has kind of been unveiled with it. So first, we have Louis Pullman as Sentry. I forgot that fucking Sentry was going to be in the movie. The Thunderbolts and Val have taken over the Avengers Tower as well, so that's cool to see that the tower is still being used, as it just kind of appeared vacant all throughout Phase 4, right? We also know that Scarlett Johansson is actually going to be an executive producer on Thunderbolts. So this was the project that she was involved in, and I actually think that this is a very, very good project for her to work on, because Yelena Belova, the Black Widow, the new one, is essentially like one of the main protagonists of the movie, and yeah, I think she definitely deserves to be involved in the project in some way to kind of safeguard the Black Widow character, since she's not Black Widow anymore. As for the Sentry casting, I'm excited to see a villain that everyone's been hyping up for so long to finally enter the MCU. I'm excited to see John Walker again. That's probably my most anticipated thing about the movie. Thunderbolts is definitely one that I'm looking forward to, despite me having fallen off of Marvel. I'll watch this anyways. Like, I haven't even checked out Agatha all along yet. I don't know what people are thinking of it, if it's good, but I'm just not interested in Agatha, man. But yeah, this movie's definitely intriguing me, especially since it looks as though Bucky isn't going to start out on the Thunderbolts side. Like, it looks almost like he's back to his Winter Soldier persona, even though that's likely not what happened. He's likely just on a counter mission working for somebody else at first. But I'm very excited to see Bucky back in action, especially since he won't be in Captain America 4. We're going to have to see him eventually. So yeah, very, very fucking hyped for this. Asmongold found a dead rat in his house. Oh my god. I'm sure everyone's absolutely shocked by this news based on the status of Asmongold's house. But why the fuck are people reporting on this? Like, there's people that have rats in their house because it's messy all the time. Why are we giving Asmongold attention for this? Like, I swear to God, Asmongold must, like, pay Dexerto to, like, I don't know if this is a crazy accusation, but he must pay Dexerto to, like, make headlines about him and shit. Especially since he replies to all of their posts. Maybe he fucking owns Dexerto for all we know. To end today off, we have an announcement from Riot Games that if a cheater is detected in your Valorant match, your ranking won't be affected. And I'm not trying to stick up for Valorant here, because I think Valorant's a pretty shit game myself, but I do have to give Riot Games some credit, as there's not a lot of competitive games that do this. So the fact that Riot Games is stepping up and adding this feature is very good.